I met you on a Thursday, Friday I took you home. Well, Saturday I'm begging you, baby, just leave me alone. You're turning me upside down, pull me to the ground when you shake me, shake me. I'm giving you what you need and I'm begging, please don't break me, love.
Well, it's back like an inexplicably popular cover of a Michael Jackson song ruined by a crappy alternative pop rock band. Final Fantasy XIII has just hit store shelves, and like every other fan who was hooked by the awesome old-school console games, my addiction has forever doomed me to play every Final Fantasy game from now until the end of time, hoping in vain that they can capture even a fraction of the magic from the old days. Even though every Final Fantasy since number 7 has been a tedious, tooth-grinding descent into mediocrity. And that's why...
Clone! Clone!
Oh, hi, Black Lantern Spoony.
Ha! No longer! I've returned from death, and now I am Spoony the White.
Wow! So, what's being dead like?
It turns out it's all pantheistic or something. When we die, we turn into part of the rocks and trees and birds. It's gay.
Yes! I'm not going to hell for jerking off!
Like you have a soul that can even go to hell, clone boy. Prepare to die!
What? Why?
I want my show back, and I'm not going to have some pile of rat filth that Linkara reanimated and brainwashed just taking over my life.
Brainwashed? I'm not brainwashed. Here, perhaps a free t-shirt will make you feel better.
I thought you might try to weasel your way out of this, but I'm not giving my show up without a fight. That's why I started training at a Shaolin monastery. Until I realized the lessons would be really expensive, so I just went out and bought this gun.
Whoa, hey, no need for that. Show's all yours, man. I quit.
Wait, what?
Yep, totally.
Hey, no tricks now. I know me.
No tricks. You can have this review with my blessing. And believe me, I think I'll just go make a new life for myself somewhere. Like, I don't know, New Mexico.
Oh, cool, I guess. That was easy. So, what am I reviewing?
Final Fantasy X.
Keep your show, keep your show, keep your show. Turns out there isn't. And you are going to live in it.
Okay then. If you remember, I managed to rage against Final Fantasy VIII for about an hour and a half, and yet I claim the far more beloved PlayStation 2 premiere, Final Fantasy X, was far, far worse than that. But you'll notice that I just skipped over number 9, and some of you might be wondering what I thought about that one, and this might shock you, but, well, I didn't like it. In fact, I tried to play it twice, and I could never force myself to play past the first 2 hours either time. Now, this was years ago, and I'll be the first to admit it was likely I was being fiercely unfair to what was probably a much better game that was, essentially, a huge throwback to all the old-school stuff I'd been missing all this time. I mean, it's entirely possible that I just hated Final Fantasy VIII so much that it forever colored my perceptions of every game in the series since then, but I just think I really, really hated the art design. I know that's unfair, I admit that. I mean, I know it's like judging a book by its cover, but have you ever had that happen to you where everyone else really liked a movie or a game, and you could even admit that it might well have been a great game, but there was just something in the art design that you just couldn't get over it. Like, for me, it was like The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I hated the design of Zaphod Beeblebrox. And I know a lot of people watch Star Trek, the new movie, and they just couldn't get over the sleek iPod design of everything. And with Final Fantasy IX, one look at the cover told me pretty much everything I needed to know. Let's see, this game is full of super deformed androgynous preteen furries. You know, basically everything I hate about anime. I could not have been less interested. The fastest way known to bore me with a game is with a cliched JRPG plot about preteen kids saving the world. Furries creep me out, and I hate androgynous-looking, whiny, pansy-ass characters. Oh, son of a bitch! Okay, I know, my hatred of Final Fantasy X is not entirely rational. I mean, I have reasons, believe me. I have a lot of reasons, but there's just something about this game, something irrational, something instinctive, that whenever I see this guy, I just want to punch this motherfucker. This sissy shorts-wearing fucking bat-faced Leonardo DiCaprio-looking jack-off. Fuck this guy! Fuck him and his leather lederhosen! I hate his fucking faggy Meg Ryan hair. I hate his smug fucking hideous Archibald Jr. face. I hate his stupid girly banana-colored half-vest. I hate his stupid squeaky nasal fucking voice. And every fucking time he opens his big fucking mouth, I just want to stab him in the throat with an ice pick just to watch him die. I hate him. I hate you. I hate this game.
You got me turning up and turning down, I'm turning in, I'm turning out, I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I just, I've got a lot of bad memories about this game, and, they all just, they kind of came, like, rushing back in all at once, and, I mean, if you didn't play this game, you don't understand. But, look, it's okay now. I'm okay. I think, you know, I think I just needed to vent and kind of get it all out. And I've done that, and, I kind of think I can handle this rationally from here on out.
Listen to my story.
No! Fuck you! Fuck your story! It sucks! Someone help me! Send help! Help!
If that sort of life is what you wish, you may grow up to be a fish. Or would you like to?
I've been told that it might help if I started by outlining some of the more positive aspects of the game. Okay. As is standard for the series, the soundtrack is excellent. The cutscenes are heartbreakingly beautiful, and almost all of them are striking and memorable. And even though I hate to admit it, the battle system in this game is really, really damn good. Combat is fast and strategic, mixing up your enemy's strengths and weaknesses, and forcing you to tag your party members in and out to deal with each encounter's unique enemy placements. Some enemies can fly, some are at a great distance, and some can surround you. An incredibly convenient meter at the top right tells you when everyone in the combat will go in turn. Best of all, there's no drawing magic, no artificial resource collection, no bullshit junctioning magic spells to ability scores, and no triple triad, weight off my mind. No, where this game falls really flat on its face is the absurd, underline absurd character design, the linear as hell, no surprises plot, and, well, just about every techno-shit bubble-headed fantasy concept this game introduces. For instance, let's just try to clock out how far I get in the story before I find something I hate. The game opens in the fantastic futuristic city of Zanarkand, where we can see people gathered around— Stop! What is that? It looks like some kind of weird holographic pillar, tree, mushroom thing. Seriously, what the fuck is it? In the future, streetlights will be weird, expensive, ugly things that beam out halos of nonsense holograms. Why is that thing here? What does it do? Why would people build it, and why would they gather around it? Anyway, we meet our hero as he gets mobbed by his adoring fans to sign their enormous 20-sided dice. Wow, he's the first ever Dungeons & Dragons celebrity! Well, actually, it's a ball, but since the scene isn't pre-rendered, spheres are composed of jutting, jagged polygons. This is Titus, who is, believe it or not, a man, but sort of like Bob Dylan in the movies, is played by a woman. He's a blitzball player. What's blitzball? Aside from the stupidest, fakey, made-up sport since Kosho from The Prisoner, in which two athletes karate fight on trampolines surrounding a pool? Okay, imagine, if you will, an enormous 100-yard diameter sphere of water, suspended in midair that suddenly materializes in a matter of seconds before a stadium audience. Players dive into the water and attempt to throw a ball into the opposing team's goal. It's a bit like water polo, really, only lamer and harder to see and physically impossible. But Spoony, some of you are saying, this is Final Fantasy. It's science fiction fantasy. If you're willing to suspend your disbelief and accept the notion of people wielding black magic, fighting a flying Godzilla, and enormous chickens used as personal transport, can you really call bullshit on Blitzball? Yes! I can call bullshit! Let me count the ways!